hitched up on this side of me over here, walking up to the team. So Kelly, our dogs are running with Kelly Maixner this year, and Kelly's going out bib number 23. Pretty good bib number. It is 2023, and also everybody's saying hi as they're walking by. And also in 2021, 23 was my bib number when I won the Iditarod, so we're hoping that's a good omen. Right now, it looks like behind me here we got bib number 17 getting ready to take off, and more hellos. This is awesome. We have a few minutes to get everybody set up, ready to rock and roll. I'm going to turn you around here so we can see what we're looking at. So Kelly's tow line's all laid out. Those harnesses in place are set up so that once the dogs are hitched up, our handlers can help lead the dog team through the maze up to the takeoff chute. So here in just a couple moments, we're going to start hitching up dogs. Kelly's getting strapped up with a bib. Say hi, Kelly. Be watching for Kelly out there. He loves his green and orange. Woohoo!
But I got some black.
He's got a little bit of black. He's using the trailer from one of our past races, so it doesn't exactly match, but we'll forgive him his...
I'm going to taint your toe lines, though.
Yeah.
We're going to get some orange up there in that black.
Right on. We'll get the orange blended in. It's a meshing of the team. And that's Margaret, his wife, helping get ready. And I want to come back here and say hi to a couple of these dogs before we take off. All right. Look at these guys. They're all stoked. Hey, Pecos. How you doing, buddy?
That was awesome.
Pecos is ready to rock and roll. He was with me the last 2 years on the race. Mr. Viacon. Hey, Viacon. You want to say hello, buddy? He's like, not really. I'd rather pee on the truck. There you go, bud. Viacon was also on my team the last 2 years. Mr. North. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. North is going to be turning 9 right after the race. And he's in here once again, won with me in 2021 and been on pretty much every race with me since he was 3 years old. So we're watching him go out there. This is Titan. Mr. Titan, how you doing, big guy? I love this dog. He's super mellow, super sweet. This is one of Prophet's children. He was a 3-year-old on my team last year, and he acts like a nice, calm 8-year-old, very mature dog for his age. Oh, you're a good boy. He's one that's really stepped up as a leader, so watch for Titan to be in the lead near the end. Hey, Swifter. How you doing, buddy? Is there a lot going on? Swifter's one of those dogs that loves the peace and quiet out there on the trail, but these starts are a little bit anxious, aren't they, buddy? You're doing great. That's why we have him on this side of the truck, where it's nice and calm. You can see just on the other side, there's the next musher's trailer, so it's nice and quiet over here. Oh, but he loves butt scratches. Oh, yes, he does. Good boy. You'll be on the trail soon, Swifter, and you don't have to worry about all the peoples. All right, then up here, Olaf. Hey, Oli. Roly-poly Oli. Hey, buddy. So Olaf, yeah, he's excited. He's a super, super awesome dog. Young guy. He's only 4 years old. This is going to be his first time on the Iditarod Trail, and he is famous in the kennel for his enthusiasm. He's what we call a cheerleader. He's always cheering on the rest of the team. He's always excited. At the end of last year, he really stepped it up to a whole new level, and he didn't quite go on Chad's team, but we had this big, long debate about whether or not he should be on Chad's team. Ended up not going. This year, he's been a standout dog and is easily on the team. Prophet. Hey, buddy. This is Mr. Prophet, the one and only. Yeah, big guy. And he also loves those butt scratches, don't you? Oh, right there. Is that the spot? Yeah, Prophet. Prophet. So he is going to be also turning 9. He's a half-brother to North. They're best buds. And they were born, I think, 12 days apart. They're both going to be turning 9 in the beginning of June. So these guys are the old, mature dogs in there, but you'd never guess it by watching him run that he's nearly a 9-year-old dog. He's a superstar, and this is the sort of experience that helps mushers tremendously at the end of the race when they have, the more challenging conditions, the Bering Sea coast, having a dog like Prophet and another one like North. All right, and we're back. Sorry about that. There's a lot of people out here in Willow, an area that's not that used to having a whole lot of cell phones in one area, so connection's not great, so I just paused for a second there, so we got reconnected. So Prophet, old guy, superstar, runs like a puppy, but has the experience of an old dog. That's what makes him awesome. Next to him here, we have the youngest dog on the team. This is Mo. Hey, Mo. Hey, buddy. He's part of the trio Larry, Curly, and Mo, so that says something about his intelligence, perhaps, but he is one of the happiest, friendliest, most outgoing, energetic, enthusiastic, man, that was a lot of adjectives, dogs on the team. So it's just a 3-year-old. He has really risen to the top. Did both the Quest 300 with Isaac earlier this year. He also did the Copper Basin 300 with Hedda from our team this year. And both of those races, he really, stepped it up. And in the Quest 300, he was leading at the end of it most of the way. So we're really excited to see what he's going to do out there. And again, he's the youngest dog on the team. So he is balanced, though. This is a very balanced team with, all ages in there. So I feel very comfortable having 3-year-olds on this team because there is so much maturity. Sebastian, hey buddy. Here's a 4-year-old that was on Chad's 7th place finished with Chad's 7th place team last year. Very just beautiful looking sled dog, calm, mellow. And he has made such an evolution in the last year, so I'm so proud of him. He was a little more of a nervous dog. Last year, he was just a little bit flightier and whatnot. But after spending the summer hanging out with tourists, spending time in the crew cabins with people, he has become just a very calm, secure, happy little dog. So he's going to be a huge asset and a value on the team. So I'm excited to see what Sebastian does there. Hey, buddy. And he's just super beautiful. Joanna. Hey, Jojo. How you doing, girl? So Joanna, I believe... Oh, there we go. She's getting the love. Joanna, she is the only girl on this team. She had a couple, actually more than half sisters and one aunt that were almost on the team, but they came in season at the wrong time, and we didn't want the distraction for the boys. So Joanna's going to be the only lady out there. Absolutely amazing dog. She is one that Kelly has really fallen in love with. She's just a great leader, super calm all the time. She's a professional rester. When she gets to the checkpoint, she knows what to do. Curl up and take a nap after you eat your food. But as you can see, she's like not in the least bit nervous. Hey, you, just calm, just chill. And that's classic Joanna. She's just too regal to get all worked up over this, huh, girl? There's your yawn. Yeah, this is nothing new, is it? Oh, she's awesome. On this side, Flounder. Hey, Flounder. So Flounder was a 3-year-old on my race team last year and finished with me. Probably him and Titan were the 2 best 3-year-olds on my team. Super lead dog. And he's just matured another year. Super professional. An amazing athlete. So we're stoked to see him on the trail. And then, how we doing? Cobra. Cobra, good boy. Cobra was on my 2021 winning team, 2022 team. And here he is again this year. Again, a very mature, solid, amazing athlete. Great leader. That's one thing about Kelly's team here is almost all of these dogs are leaders. And, you see, they're all just, Mo is excited, but Mo's always excited. The rest of them, they're mature. They've done this before. They're calm. They're ready to rock and roll. They're confident. And whatever happens out there, he's got a leader for every situation. So I'm really excited to see this team. Now, last, but definitely not least, one of my favorite dogs on the team, Ace. Hey, buddy. Hey, Ace. Ace, what are you? I think he is 7 this year. He's next to North and Profit. He's the oldest dog on the team. He was actually on my dad's 2nd place team back in 2020. Oh, and he's loving the butt scratches. Yeah. He was on my dad's 2nd place team in 2020. He was on my 1st place team in 2021, my 2nd place team in 22. And here he goes again. He is like the steadiest, most easy dog on the team. He eats all the food you could possibly find. Always has good body weight. Always happy. Always ready to take on the next section of trail. He's the type of dog that gives mushers confidence. When you see dogs like him completely unfazed by the situation, those are the dogs that give you the confidence to go out there and take on the next section of trail, knowing that you have a powerhouse dog team behind you. So Ace is some more of that steady power in the team. You ready to rock and roll, Ace? You ready, buddy? Yeah, he is. Go boy, Ace.
You got a big clap on your honorary thing here. Congratulations.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, we're going to come up this way, see where we're at on the numbers. All right, looks like we got number 18 over here, getting ready to launch. That means we've got somewhere about 10 minutes before Kelly's going to be getting ready to go with that team. Well, once that team leaves, I should say we have 10 minutes. But it was just absolute excitement in every direction. As you look around, these guys are ready to rock and roll over here. Yeah, it's a nice looking dog. That's one of the fun things about the Iditarod start is so many amazing setups and dogs to take a look at. It's pretty much dog musher heaven. Back here we have Christian Turner, bib number 30. He ran with us back in, let's see, it was 2014, 2015, I believe. Yes, that's correct, that he ran with our team. He's now taking my dad's race team out there on the trail. So that's going to be exciting to see. What else we got? We have dogs in a couple different teams. We have a few teams we're keeping an eye on. Over here we have Gerhardt, the South African musher, bib number 22. He's going to be hitting the trail right in front of us. And he is running the young dogs for my dad's race team. So I'm excited to see how those guys do. They always bring some super talented teams to the trail. So they're going to be pretty exciting to watch those guys. All right. All right, well, pretty quick here. We're going to start getting ready to hook up and get all these dogs hitched up in the team. So I'm going to come back with you here in a moment. I'll let you guys tune in what they got going on over at the Iditarod side. And Susan's team taking up from the starting line, but we'll be back on in just a couple minutes as we start hooking up these dogs. You know what? I just realized they got this under control. I'm going to let them run with it. I'll hang out with you guys. By the way, if you guys come up with any questions, I'm going to peruse around. I'll show you what I'm seeing up here. If you got any questions, I'll be happy to hit them. In the meantime, I'm going to flip you out and we'll just take a gander at some dog teams here. All right, Julie's asking, am I missing out? Yes and no. I've had an awesome winter, and I feel like in a lot of ways I'm not missing out on a lot of things I generally am. So I don't feel like I'm missing out too much. Am I a little bit jealous? Maybe just a little bit, if I'm being honest. But there's a pretty good chance I'll be back in here, whether it's next year or the year after. I will do this thing again. The Iditarod is, it's part of me, I guess, in a lot of ways. So I'm always going to be doing the race. So yeah, I feel like I'm missing out a little bit. I also feel like I got to do a lot of things I missed out on the past. All right, so Jenny has a question here. How much does each dog eat on average each day they are on the trail? Now that depends on the temperature, of course, the size of the dog, the mileage that they're running out there, but the numbers that always get said is about 10 to 12,000 calories per day on the trail, and that is the most important thing to be keeping track of as a musher, because as much as we like to watch the run and rest times, because that's what we can see on the computer from our homes, dog teams run just like armies travel on their stomach. This is more a game of calories than it is of rest. Yes, they need rest because that's what keeps them feeling rejuvenated and feeling like eating. So food is probably the most important thing the musher's going to have to keep an eye on out there. 10 to 12,000 calories a day is what they're going to be eating. All right, our team's starting to get hitched up here. Looks like Mr. Titan's going to be up in lead. And behind him, we've got Big Bad Mo over there, looks like. Take a few steps back here. Joanna's going to be coming up behind Swing. Oh no, I misspoke. This is Pumbaa up in Swing. They look very similar. With a crowd of people, it's hard to see there. So we got Pumbaa and Swing so far. Titan up in lead. There's Flounder coming in behind Swing. Behind him, we've got Joanna getting stacked in. Hey Jojo, good girl.
Good luck.
Then this is Mr. Olaf. Ace is bringing up the rear. Ace is the world-renowned wheel dog. That's pretty much where he lives. He loves the back there. He does great at that position. He's actually shockingly agile for his size and experience, which makes him so good at hopping back and forth over the line. Hey, Steven, let's go ahead and hook up this one right here. All right. All right, Tracy's asking how cold it is here. It's not that terribly cold. This morning it was 3 below at my house. By the time I left my house to come here, it was 12 above. So I don't know the temperature right now, but it's the perfect temperature for an awesome Norwegian sweater. So I got the sweater on today. It had to cover the race start, even if I'm not racing. Good question. horses out there. So one of the most unique things about them is if we get down on doggy level here and look at Pumbaa, you see that line of pull goes right from the chest in a straight line. There's no down pressure on the dog's hip right there. The strap that goes over the back is elastic, so as the dog goes up and down over hills and over moguls, it stretches. It makes a very ergonomically correct line of pull. And this is not a new creation, it's a modification of actually one of the oldest forms of harness for draft animals and sled dogs. So we just modified it to make it lighter for racing dogs and whatnot. But this seems to be the healthiest setup for the dogs, and I sure love it. I will say that it's more work for the musher maintaining this harness setup, but I think it's well worth it because I think it's the best way for to have it for the dogs. Alright, I think we just about got our team hitched up. So one last time, we'll go through and say hi. We got Titan and Swifter up front here. Oh, Pecos, hey Pecos. We got Mr. Flounder. We got Prophet and Joanna. Hey Prophet, you ready to rock and roll again, buddy? Have fun, big guy. Viacon and Norris. Norris, don't eat that, buddy. Despite being almost 9 years old, he still can't contain his energy. Cobra. We got Olaf and Sebastian right here. Olaf's the white one, Sebastian's the husky looking one. Mo is very excited. Oh, Momo. And then Ace right over there. Yeah, get it, buddy. These guys are ready to rock and roll. This is a powerful setup. I'm going to back off just a little bit so we can see these guys move. When it comes time for them to pull the pin. Man, that's a nice looking dog team. All right, you remember that question earlier about whether I was feel like I was missing out? That answer might be changing as we speak. This is a beautiful dog team right here. And I think it looks all the more so to me, knowing each of these dogs individually and as well as I do, I see the talent that there is in this team, and it has a lot of potential. There's no doubt about that. To the chute, which means we have just a couple minutes before we get moving. So here's Gerhardt, South African musher who's running the young dogs for my dad's team, and he's bid number 22, so just in front of Kelly. And you'll see that they have the same harness setup here. This is another really nice looking dog team. That's one fun thing as a musher to get to kind of peruse the other teams. Hey, Canton, how you doing, buddy? So Canton is a dog that came from my dad's kennel, this tan guy nearest us. Back in 2021, he raced with me on the Iditarod, won with me in 2021. He's on my team again in 2022. And Gerhardt needed some experienced leaders. And as he wasn't going to be running with Kelly, he came here to do the Iditarod with Gerhardt and help him out. So he spent all winter with us, and now he's at Gerhardt. It's fun to see him in there. I'm going to see if he recognizes anybody else in his lineup. There's another one. This is Mrs. Neat. All right, so Neep is another one of our guys, or gals rather. She was one that Kelly was debating taking her. She ended up not quite making the cut for Kelly's team. But again, we'll still get to do the Iditarod after all that training. To come out here and help Gerhardt coach these puppies down the Iditarod trail and get the good experience. And especially with a team where I suspect almost every other dog in that team is only 2 years old, having some mature dogs like Canton and Neep in there really makes a big difference to kind of set the tempo and the pace for the rest of the dogs on the team. All right. You can see the beginning of the crowd of folks up there. So what the mushers are going to do is when they leave their truck in the staging area, they make their way up through the mushers. Is another staging area. On the other side, you see a team going by right now. But they kind of go through that crowd of people, then down onto the chute, and from there they take off out across Willow Lake. They go a few miles, and we'll hit what we call the Willow Swamp Loop. And that was a major part of my training trail back when I lived in Willow. Now that I'm up in Talkeetna, we use that section of trail a little bit less. Now, another thing we got to remember here, I'm just watching this crowd around Gerhardt's team, and I look at this group of humans. This team is hauling. These guys are ready to rock and roll. Well, one handler down. What I was going to say here is you got to remember, it's all about the dogs here, of course, and of course you like cheering on the mushers. Good luck, buddy! But you also got to remember, each of these mushers has a huge crew of humans behind them that's helping them get these dogs trained, helping these dogs get their massages after every single workout. And there's not a single musher here that wouldn't be here without the aid of numerous helpers, human helpers, taking care of their dogs. Even right now, every musher here has somebody back at their kennel feeding their dogs, helping take care of their dogs, and babysitting the dogs. We never leave a kennel unattended. And there's somebody who's put a lot of time and effort in that isn't even getting to be here today. They're doing the same thing you are, watching it online. And so I just want to make a kind of a shout out for everybody. Remember all the helpers behind the scenes for every single one of these mushers. Same with the Iditarod volunteers. You look at all these green vests helping people go. Many of the people actually holding lines in this team are race volunteers that are helping get teams to the start. Up here we got the guys with the stop signs, the security people, everybody's helping out. Actually underneath that stop sign we have Stu Nelson, the Iditarod's head vet, watching dogs as they're heading up there. And that's why I love the Iditarod. It's not just a musher and dog race. This is Alaska's sport, Alaska's race, and none of it would happen without the backing of all these people you see out here today. And the mushers are the ones in the spotlight many a time, but there's so much more than just the mushers that make this happen, and everybody celebrates the Iditarod. Alright, looks like they're getting ready to go. So here's Gerhardt, again, the South African musher, pulling up the starting line, running a team of 2-year-olds from my dad's kennel. He's got 2 dogs that have trained with us all winter. So they're going to be helping kind of coach that young team down the trail. Good luck, Gerhardt. All right.
How's it going?
It's going. How you guys doing? All right, now we can mosey on back. So that was 22. Next up, Kelly Maixner, bib number 23. And these are our boys here. Look at that big old Titan. I love that dog. He's in the lead on the left. Oh. Calm as a cucumber up here. Big old smile on his face. Swifter next to him, the white dog up there. Another beautiful athlete. Amazing dog. Man, I love these guys so much. So we're going to follow these guys all the way up to the starting line when it's time for them to go. So hope you guys see them all the way right up to the countdown and blast off. Oh man, I hate it when people budge in on your activity here. Photobombing us. Mitch Seavey, 3-time Iditarod champion and also retired. Smart guy. Yeah, these guys will be taking off in just a few more seconds. Nice looking dog team. What do you think? Are they decent?
I think that's a team to watch.
All right.
I think Kelly Maixner's got experience, and that's probably the best team in on the trail. So let's see what happens.
Well, I like that assessment. I'm hoping he's not just being nice because it's me. To be honest, I think Brent is probably the team to beat. Not to do race analysis right now, but Brent is probably the team to beat because he has an awesome dog team, obviously, and he's got the experience and that consistent top performance. But I think this is a team right here that actually has the ability to compete with them, albeit Kelly is much less experienced on the Iditarod than Brent and some of the other mushers. However, Kelly is a heck of a human athlete. He just completed a Ironman triathlon only a few months ago here in Alaska. So he's obviously in very good shape himself, and he had dogs for the longest time. actually competing in, I think, 6 Iditarods with his own team prior to kind of deciding to take a break. Having 5 kids might have something to do with his wife kind of suggesting gently, of course, that maybe they shouldn't have, 40 or 50 sled dogs in the yard as well. A little too much work there. All right. So now's the stop and go section. We pull up a few steps, stop and wait until a team takes off from the chute. The teams are leaving in 2-minute intervals. So we'll wait for about 2 minutes. The next team's gonna go up, and then we'll slide up to a slot. So this is kind of like how the queue works. Now each corner you do with a dog team, you're gonna see a lot of people that switch sides so that they can help the dog team swing wide around the corner. So going around the last turn, they're making a right-hand turn. So all the mushers were, or I'm sorry, all the handlers were on the left-hand side of the line, pulling that team out in a nice wide arc. Now they're gonna come around this corner, and they got them all on the other side. However, this is gonna be a tricky one. We'll see if they can get it figured out, because the next turn is a right-hand turn. So, usually what I end up doing is having a handler, kind of staggered, alternating on every other side of the line, or each one alternating on each side of the line there.
We moved to Alaska in the spring of 2013.
And there it is, our first glimpse of the starting line.
Expeditions. While he was working there, he met Matt Hall. And he handled for Matt that year, and then a year with Ryan Olson, and then another year with Sven Haltman, before he started his own kennel, Dark Horse Racing Kennel, in 2016. And the winner, he focuses on
Sister, you ready to rock and roll, buddy? Hey, Jen. Hey, bud. You big old happy dog.
Really looking forward to running This is his second year running as a dog. He first ran in 2020. He finished 25th place with a time of 13 days, 17 hours, 58 minutes, and 55 seconds.
There's a nice looking specimen. Flounder. You ready, buddy? You ready, buddy? Good boy, Flounder. Pecos. So Pecos is our kennels champion when it comes to eating. This dog is the fastest eater I have ever seen in my life. He's got a lot of personality, a lot of character. Yeah, we got to get him in an eating competition. This guy is something else, and that's what mushers love seeing, like we were talking about before. These dogs might be consuming between 10 and 12,000 calories a day on a cold day where they're covering a lot of mileage. So having those champion eaters is not only great to keep that dog in good shape, but it also sets the tempo for the rest of the team. It's remarkable that if you have 2 or 3 good eaters like Pecos and Ace and so many others, Flounder, when they stand up and start chowing the food, the rest of the team just follows suit and does the same thing. All right. Gerhardt pulling up to the starting line.
T-Hart. Gerhardt was born and raised near Cape Town. After graduating from high school, he joined the military where he obtained the rank of First Lieutenant Platoon Commander.
Easy, boys.
With several tours under his belt. After military, he joined a restaurant group where he met Al Joe, AJ for short. They got married in 2003. They're friends with Andre and Natalie Vandermeer, reputable and respected Siberian breeders. Gerhardt and AJ fell in love with the breed and got 3. Being working dogs, they got the parts.
So Lisa's asking what's the ideal weight. That's a really tough thing to say because I'm definitely an inclusive musher in that I've got dogs in my team that have done phenomenally well at 42 pounds. Like Finn Guinness, she was my Golden Harness winner from 2012, weighed about 42 pounds. Her son, Hero, won the Iditarod with me a number of times, and he weighed in at about 72 pounds. So I don't think there's so much an ideal weight, but there are dogs that run correctly for their body size. So you're going to see traditionally dogs between 50 and 65 pounds is going to be kind of the standard size for most of these dogs. And they are fit, athletic dogs. So look at Swift in here. This is pretty much the ideal body weight. These guys, even my sled dog standards, probably have a little bit of extra weight, but they'll slim down a touch in the first day or 2 of the race and get down to whatever weight they want to be and then kind of maintain that. Titan, you look bored, buddy. He's so chill. Go boy, Titan.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
There goes Gerhard T-Hart from Cape Town, South Africa. Good luck, Gerhard.
All right, Gerhardt's on the trail, and Kelly Maxner's up next.
Next up, we have bib number 23, Kelly Maixner from Big Lake, Alaska.
All right.
Kelly is a native of North Dakota, but he's lived in Big Lake since 2009.
You all right?
He started mushing dogs.
There's one powerful dog team right here.
During his pediatric dental
a lot of horses.
residency.
Hey, don't eat that, buddy.
He says he loves going on adventures with his tolerant
I'm always
wife
getting
and
razzed by
5 perfect children. His hobbies include
All right,
fishing,
we're gonna take one more pass up this line.
building
We got Mark Norman, the race horse. Last goodbye.
He is rookie year 2011. He finished 30th.
Puma, good boy, Flounder. We'll see you out there, big guy. Profit, Joanna, North, Acapulco, Viacon, Cobra, Sebastian, Mr. Olaf.
The loudest dog in the yard.
Yes, he is. He says he's the loudest dog in the yard.
His last 2 races in 2018
right.
and 2020, both in 17th place.
Getting
His
ready to rock
fastest
and
race
roll.
was in 2016 in 21st position. He finished with
Save
9
the
days,
guys
8
here.
hours, 38 minutes, and 18 seconds. Good luck to Kelly Maxner, Iditarod 51. Bid number 23.
You'll be sure to know that she's going to be watching this super closely as the race progresses.
Again, thank you to our principal partners in this year's Iditarod, Donald Gold, GCI, Harvest Midstream, and Hillcorp, Alaska.
All right. All queued up.
Kelly, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And he's off.
All right, there goes bid number 23, Kelly Maxner across Willow Lake.
Brady, 2 minutes.
Next to the chute, local musher from right down the road. Please welcome Randy Smith.
And he's off.
Right behind the next sled and go out
Bid
that
number
way.
24, Randy Smith, 47 years old, born and raised in Alaska. He's the son of Iditarod musher Bud Smith, who raced in the first Iditarod, and the late Wally Medley, who raced in the second Iditarod. Randy has lived all of his
Randy
life
Smith just got
since he moved to Willow to put down roots and build a home for his family.
Gotta
He's
figure out how to
raced the
get out of
Iditarod
here.
26 times, placing the top 10 12
And
times.
here's Kelly and our crew.
He won the K300 in 1995 when he was only 18 years old, and has raced in and won many other events throughout the state. He began mushing, he says, as soon as I could walk, and he won the Junior Iditarod twice before his
Yeah,
first
Randy
Iditarod
Smith's
in
in the starting chute right now.
He's a
Super
full-time
experienced
log
musher.
home builder and owns and
He's another one to be
operates
watching
Smith
out there. There's a
Log
lot of very good teams in this race. And it's a very hard one to pick who's going to be our champion. But, you know, Brent definitely has probably the most odds of winning. He's certainly the one that people are going to have to challenge. That being said, there's a lot of mushers that if they have a really good race, can easily take him on, especially if Brent makes any blunders along the way. But we got to watch this team. Here's another very nice looking dog team. This is Jessie Royer, one of those mushers I was just talking about. She's had a very accomplished career. Good luck, Jessie. Very accomplished career, and definitely one of the mushers that's, you know, how should I say this, has been very consistent in past races. And that's also something I look strongly at, is not just what can they do on a single race, but can they do it year after year. And she's got a well known for phenomenal dog care, finishing with nice big teams, and oftentimes, at least when she's had great races, she's had very fast teams, especially at the end of the race, which is where it's important. So she can maintain a strong, healthy, fast team, which I know she can. She is going to be a force to be reckoned with, and one of those mushers I'd be looking at to potentially become our new Iditarod champion. So a lot of fun stuff going to be happening in the next couple of days. I'm going to sign off here as I start getting everybody loaded back up in the truck and headed home. But final thoughts, make sure you watch this race super close. It's gonna be a fun one. I know there's fewer teams than there've been in the past, but there's still some amazing dog teams out there, and it's gonna be a good race. Best ways to watch it, you know, obviously here on social media. I'm gonna be trying to do some updates throughout the race as I'm not racing myself, but also Iditarod.com. Check out the Insider. They certainly come up with some great footage out on the trail. So it's certainly part of kind of the network you have to use to be able to follow the Iditarod accurately. So go ahead, get that Insider subscription. If nothing else, The GPSs are awesome, and I love the footage they get from the trail. So do that, support the race, stay with us as well. We'll try to get you updates throughout this thing. And obviously we're going to be paying special attention to Kelly Maixner and a few other teams out there. Christian Turner, who's racing with my dad's young dogs. But oh, would you look at that? He's just about to take off here. So here's Christian Turner, bib number 30, I believe. So he's running my dad's kind of A team. So we're going to be watching him particularly closely as well. These guys, it is the A team, but it is a younger team. Whereas our team has a couple 8, almost 9-year-olds, a couple 7-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 5-year-olds. I think this team is primarily comprised of 3-year-olds with a handful of 4-year-olds. And he does have, we got to find Yak in here. He also has one dog from our kennel that trained with us this winter. He actually originally came from my dad's kennel. My dad lent him to me back in 2021. Here we go. So right there in the back of the team, on our right-hand side, that's Yak. And so he's one that I borrowed years ago to come help me out. And now he's back in my dad's lineup helping Christian. Come on, buddy. Have fun. We'll see you out there. Maybe. All right. So we'll be watching this game particularly closely also. Nice looking dog team. All right. I'm not sure where they're at numbers wise. If these guys got a few minutes to go before they pull up the chute or not, but. Maybe a younger team on average than what we got lined up in there. But one thing you see with young teams is they've got a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of top-end speed. So a young team managed correctly is still a very dangerous team on the trail. Like they can definitely be a serious competitor. So don't let their age deceive you. They're younger, but they're still all 3 or more. So it's not like they're puppies by any stretch of the imagination. So this team, if it was me, I would leverage their strength, which again is speed, and what I mean by that is I would set up a structure where we'd be doing probably shorter runs and taking more than adequate rest and planning on having one of the fastest teams on the trail. So I wouldn't be surprised if on many of the runs out there we see Christian posting some very, very fast run times between checkpoints. But obviously he's a very smart and rather experienced musher himself, so when I say very fast, I don't mean 12 and 14 miles an hour. That's excessive speed. I mean, he's going to be putting up 9.5-mile-an-hour runs consistently all the way to the end. That's how he's going to have real success with this team, is maintaining that speed all the way to the end. And these young dogs are going to be happy to do that as long as they get lots of rest. An older, more mature team, you're able to do a little bit longer runs. You know they're never going to be going super fast, but they have good staying.